about how else can I deal with the things that I don't want to think about right now. Mm-hmm. It's very deep and intense, I know, but really, if we're going to talk about root causes, for me, that was the root cause. I had to peel back those layers. And when you told me you're not going to drink for a hot minute, it honestly, it threw me for a loop because I didn't know what that was going to look like. Mm-hmm. And I was at an intense place in my life, managing a lot of responsibility and a lot of criticism and trying to stay positive on top of it. My marriage was not in a good place. I really didn't think I was going to stay married that year. And, you know, we're going on 20 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I had to learn how to get myself under control. The end of the day, though, is when, because during the day, I'm like, I'm firing on all fours, man. We got things to do. It's like either, you know, give me a solution or get the hell out of my way and we're going to figure it out. That was, you know, my life. And at the end of the day, like I said, I wanted to not feel anymore. So I used things that were not good for my body. But granted, though, I worked out every day. I ran probably at minimum 4 miles a day. I joined this program for strength training. What I got was a lifestyle and a mindset. And I had to learn how not to run anymore. The thing that I used to do, and I told this to Jules, because I traveled too. When I would get home, say on a Friday evening, my go-to was a hot bubble bath and wine and yacht rock. And so we had to talk about what is it that you're looking for. And that's when I realized I'm covering things up. And it wasn't that deep under the surface. It was easy for me to understand what I was doing and why I was doing it. But what I didn't understand is how bad it was for me. I couldn't sleep. My sleep was awful, absolutely awful. I still have some problems with sleeping, but I deal with it in a different way. I can still have a glass of wine on Saturday evening with my husband when we go out to eat. But I don't run to it. It's not the thing that I think about the minute I walk in the door after a really shitty day. So I had to take the training wheels off, so to speak, or the bumpers off and be like, okay, you're going to have to feel this. And it's going to be raw. You're going to have to deal with it. And I was in the field the week I started. I meal prepped, and half of what I meal prepped to take with me, I threw away because it didn't taste right. Now I'm like, meal prepping is like so freaking easy. But at the beginning, I had no idea what I was doing. I felt like I was flapping. I was just like, and it was so hot. It was like 118 or 19 where we were going in Arizona, out on the ranges and in the field. And I was packing stuff on ice every morning and then throwing away all the melted water every night. But I felt a clarity. Okay, I felt a clarity that I don't know that I have felt. I don't know that I've ever really felt it like that before. Like, why am I doing this? I was very focused, like hyper focused. And in my mind, I was like, this is, it's all, like, I'm all in it. I didn't make excuses. And then I started watching the weight fall off. And it took about 3 to 4 months, and then 20 pounds gone. It never came back. I'm over 2 years now. I went up and down a couple pounds, but I've never gained that 20 pounds back. I was so disgusted with myself too when I would look in the mirror, and now I'm like, it's just me now. This is me. People who see me, like I saw some aunts, my relatives that hadn't seen me since I started with Jules, and they were like, OMG. And they're like twirling me around, and you know. But I was just like, I didn't tell them about the program. I was just like, yeah, I've changed. I don't look the same. I don't live the same either. But the lifestyle, the mindset, it's everything. it's everything and everything that you do. But once you start doing it, it just becomes part of your norm. It's not that hard. And you have a crappy day. I had a crappy day yesterday, but I wasn't eating pizza and ice cream because frankly it would make my stomach hurt so bad if I did that. So it's clean living. When you eat clean, your mind is cleaner, if that makes sense. You're living cleaner. It's a different way. It's a better way. Your self-esteem will grow. Your confidence will grow. Everybody can see it too. It's like you may not even have to say it. They'll see it.
Well,
so I don't know if that answers the question.
that does. So, listen, like, and I'm going to ask a few other guys, like, because it's important. I feel like, what do you believe this lifestyle is? Because if you walk into this lifestyle, which I think a lot of people do, specifically in the beginning, going, well, it's going to be a lifestyle. So that lifestyle is going to look similar to the lifestyle that you had when you came in here. And that's not the case, guys. As you've heard from everybody in here, you're building a new and different foundation, a strong foundation. But the beautiful thing about it is every person that has spoke has told you or shared in some aspect, and you probably all have your own story of how that lifestyle looks different and even feels better. So it's like opening up to that shift and almost knowing that and I say this because, again, a lot of people, and it may not pertain to everybody on this call, but I believe the thought process is the lifestyle is going to be the ice cream and the wine. Like, that's going to come back. Well, it is, but not the same way. It can, but it all boils down to the foundation. You can say this numerous ways, like, and you have to really either protect your energy or look at who you're surrounding yourself with as well. And that's just a dependence on how strong you are. But you have to remember, there's numerous ways you can say this. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Your network is your net worth. Basically, who you surround yourself is a reflection of how your life is going to go. So really having to look at that. And sometimes that can be a challenge. You either have to be really good at, think about this. If y'all hung out with millionaires every day, y'all would be millionaires. No question in my mind. Why? Because you would mimic what they did. You can't stop yourself from doing it. Same thing happens when you're surrounded with people like Stacy was, like some of you guys, like I'll use her as an example, high stress running people. Like she wasn't able to exit it. So she had to really block herself in to avoid that energy. But like she was surrounded by that type of energy. The solution of her tribe at that point in time was kill it with alcohol. How do I know this? She's not the only one in here that had a similar career path or was in the same place. Completely different ranking, but go listen to Michelle talk on Facebook. Who was on Michelle's Facebook Live? Raise your hand. Brooke, I know you were there. What did she talk about? Similar things to Stacy?
Yep.
Yeah. Was she angry all the time?
Yeah. She said that her kids noticed, and her husband, she was a lot nicer. She had more energy. She felt better about herself. And she was just doing the things, even when she didn't want to.
Angry when she started, right? She talked about that.
Yeah.
Same thing. And she even says, so if you haven't, go listen to her. She talks about almost a similar thing that Stacy says. And like the biggest shift for her is she loves her body. But the biggest thing for her is that shift in her lifestyle, her mindset. Like I don't hate everybody anymore. She's like, I'm a nice person. I'm easier to get along
and
with.
She was always a nice person.
Yeah.
I've known her for probably 15, 20 years. She's an amazing person. She was my right arm for 3 years, and she can do anything she wants. And I tried to get her in the program, and she finally did it. She fought it, and she did it, and I know she's happier. But she can do anything she wants, but it's that letting go.
Mm-hmm.
You run out of excuses. It's just like, I just pulled up to the park and I'm looking at these trees. You don't have any more. You take those trees out of the way that you hide behind. You cannot, you stop hiding. And it's like, oh, it's the money. Oh, it's my job, or it's my kids. It's my husband. It's my. What are you going to do for you? Stop running from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take accountability. Stop making excuses.
So right here below us, we have little Miss Brooke. Young lady's got probably, and you can share what you want with your life, but this girl probably has the most challenges joining this program. I'll let her share her lifestyle. She's surrounded by things. I'll share a little. I mean, she's had some battles that she's battling personally herself. She has a sister that she has to work with. This girl probably had more excuses than all of you put together in a hat. And she's been showing up. And that's, like, I thought about it when Stacy said that you have to. So if anybody can put behind listen, girl, you put behind the excuses. That's probably one of the things I'm most proud of you for. I didn't know that you were going to do it, and you did it. You pulled the plug, you put behind
I
it.
hesitated at first, and I sat there and I kept thinking, I was like, mainly it was about, for me at first, the one main excuse was the financial part, because of the burden that I do have with, it's not really a burden, but like, I take care of my sister. She's a quadriplegic, so she relies on me 24/7, and nobody else takes care of her. It's just me. So, with her, there's a lot that goes into that. So I was like, okay, how am I going to make this work? And so we talked together, and she was like, Brooke, like, I got you. Like, so if, for instance, because I get paid to take care of her, like, she's, you know what I mean? Like, we worked it out now, because I was trying to work full time and take care of her, and I was losing my mind. So we worked it out to that point. And now, she's proud of me. Now we went to the gym and worked out together yesterday.
Love
Like,
it.
it made me
That
feel
was
so
awesome.
good to see her smiling, and like me have my energy back. Because I just battled cancer, and I'm cancer free. I just had my follow up with the doctor yesterday. Everything's good. My next scan will be August 15th. So I'm just like excited. Like, I feel better. I'm normally, like, I would be sleeping when I wasn't in her room, I was sleeping. So like now I'm up, I'm eating my breakfast, and I'm eating more, which I'm feeling better more. I'm not in as much pain. Like, I've been on palliative care from, I had 3 major surgeries with my cancer, and they had to cut me open, like open heart surgery. And I have been on like pain meds and all these different things that were trying to help. I was trying to help the pain. And now, like, I go through my day and I'm like, oh crap, I need to take my med. Like, I don't even need my meds. Like, so that is a huge thing for me too, because I'm so sick of the doctors pushing these meds and not telling me how to help me. And just in these 2 weeks, I've like, it's like a complete 180, and I just feel so good. So I just thank all you guys for like sharing and like helping me push. And yeah, you guys are awesome.
You're
I'm getting
awesome. 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks. That's
Amazing.
2 weeks.
Amazing story. You are a rock solid, awesome rock star of a woman. Amazing.
Yes. Proud of you. You guys go check out her story on social media. She, one, she's made big changes in her pictures. And 2, there's, I don't know if you did a reel on it. You should share it in the group. You should share it in the baddie, in the group. Yeah. Her sister working out with her yesterday. Cute. She was doing little rows. I loved it. All right. Who else has got something to share with me? I want to hear from everybody in this call. You got to share something.
I'll share.
Hi, Lieutenant.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Aloha.
Awesome.
No, not aloha. Hola. I know where I am. Wait.
So yesterday I was in Fort Lauderdale to see my doctors. Yeah, I don't have doctors in Las Vegas. I come to Fort Lauderdale to see them. So my win is my cholesterol is much, much better. And I've gone down 2 dress sizes. So, and before I really didn't think I was doing much. I mean, yeah, I lost 20 pounds, but it just kind of plateaued. Um, so I was surprised, I think now people notice. And so now that they notice, now I pay attention. I'm like, well, the scale is not really moving in my favor, but the composition is. And so when I pass the mirror, I don't mind looking now. So I think the lifestyle changed for me from when I came in to now, um, is I'm more aware of what I eat. When I came in, I knew things weren't good for me to eat, but it's like, oh, it's just this one time. Oh, well, why not? I worked hard today or whatever. But now I'm more prepared. Like I'm here in my condo in Atlanta and I prepare my food. So yesterday, even though I was in Fort Lauderdale for the day, I took my food with me.
Mhm.
And the people on the plane looking at me like I'm strange, but I wasn't eating that garbage they were eating. So I was kind of smug and smiling to myself. Because somebody said, "Oh, that smells pretty good." I said, It is good." So, it probably wasn't a nice thing. I mean, but it felt good. So, um, the only issue I had coming back was it was late. My flight was 3 hours late getting there and an hour late coming back here to Atlanta. But overall, I stayed true to course. I had my day changed because I knew yesterday was going to be a travel day. So I exercised on Sunday. This morning, I got up. I got my exercise out of the way. I have to get my food plan in and my fitness today, and then I'm back in Vegas tonight. So it's a lifestyle that you learn. But I think for me it's having the tools now. Before I didn't have tools. I didn't know what to eat. I just ate, and now I know what to eat. But I sometimes fall off because I want to taste things, but it's not like eating the whole box or eating a whole bag of chips or whatever. I may take one or two and I'm good. But I do it with more awareness that I'm not supposed to do it. And that's why I never put on my meal plan 100%, because hell, I'm never 100%, but I'm at least not 85 to 95%, if not 90% most of the time eating what I'm supposed to eat. Like when I come here, the only time I get to have my Korean coffee
Oh.
is, is when I come here, which is once a month.
Right.
So it's a lifestyle and I'm learning. And I'm also learning things about myself that I never paid attention to, like things that happened in my childhood. Like one time my bike was stolen and I somehow find things with bikes in them, like shirts and stuff. And I made that connection, like, why am I so fixated on bikes? Because I lost a bike that I really liked when I was a kid. So it's teaching me a lot about me. It's teaching me a lot about my behavior, about how to eat, what I should and shouldn't be doing, and what's okay. And at the end of the day, I still have to live.
Mhm.
And I feel 100% better about myself now.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
That's living a lifestyle. And guys, it's like, take it back to what I said in the beginning. It's your journey. You build the foundation. Lieutenant's building the foundation. Maybe her journey takes a little longer, but she's seeing the changes in her body. It may take her longer to get to the results that she wants, but she's also like what she said is she may not be 100% all the time. She's enjoying her Korean coffee, but it's once a month, right? And she's aware now of these behaviors, so her lifestyle looks a little different. She also tastes things versus eating the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Like, I'm usually pretty solid most of the time. I'll say that my lifestyle is pretty, but even I ran into a similar situation. So we all have these situations. So here, I haven't followed my meal plan 100%, but we all know my coach had told me not to, so that was an agreement. But I ate within my macronutrients, and for the first time in your life, you're ever going to hear me say intuitively eat. But it was a given thing because I am strict on my nutrition all the time. So it was a structured plan to have me do this. But the interesting thing is because I am so structured, I eat ceviche. I eat chicken. I have a chicken. I think I had one taco while I was here. And I messaged my coach and I said, this is exactly what I said to him. I avoided a collision with the best gelato in the world today. And he goes, LOL, why didn't you eat it? And I'm like, I had a taste. Like I had this little spoonful. There was this lemon. She goes, do you want to try the lemon and basil? I'm like, lemon and basil? Yeah, let me try that. That sounds a little good. It was, oh my God, it's fucking amazing. Who would think lemon and amazing gelato? But I had a taste of it. I told him, I'm like, oh, I had the little tiny spoon tasteful. And then I went on then my friend had Oreo cookie and I took a taste of his. And then I went back. I picked up some ceviche from the restaurant, said, please no chips. I don't want any chips, even though I like chips. But I didn't really feel like them. I came home with it and I was dunking my rice cakes and eating ceviche. Not because I had to, because this is really what I wanted. And he's like, girl, you're like eating on your nutrition plan. And I'm like, yeah, but it's what I want to do. That's it. Have I been perfect here? No. But my perfect looks so different, like many of you talked about. Like before, I would have been, I'm on vacation. I deserve. I've had one beer. Not because I couldn't have more, because I just really didn't feel like it. I just did. All I've done this whole week that I've been here is I've done what I felt like. And ironically, because my lifestyle, I had built such a strong foundation. Granted, I'm probably the GOAT here of having done it the longest, but I've built such a foundation as I get up here and I flow. It's just what I do. It's just what I do. And I don't feel like, so I have like free will right now to do whatever the fuck I want. And that's what I'm doing. Not because I'm highly disciplined. I'm going to actually say not because I'm highly disciplined, because that's my life. I don't feel the need. As Stacy said earlier, I don't need to do any of those things to make myself feel better. What brings me peace is getting up here in the morning and walking to my favorite coffee shop, having fucking fresh cold brew and drinking coconut water out of a coconut. Brings me peace. That's it. And I walk back, I go to the gym, like I'm just happy. Like that is so learning those things. But guys, like who else? Rita, I need to hear from you before we go.
So I was listening to what everyone was saying, and although I've been kind of a gym person ever since I was in my teens, I really never had direct focus. And so with your program, I'm more aware of my workouts and everything that I'm doing, and that's helped a lot. But my main weakness has always been the nutrition. Even though I would make good choices with fruits and vegetables and protein, it might be like fried chicken, like I know, deep battered or whatever, but now it's more grilled chicken. And if I would happen to get it in a bun, I just eat the chicken now instead of the bun. So I'm more conscious of my food choices and how I'm eating. It's just, I'm consistent. My focused 100%, yes, but do I always make good choices? No. And I feel that since I've been on the program, I've been really strict. I've had some moments I haven't been, and I can tell a difference when I am and I'm not. And I don't know, it's just, I messaged Jen this week and I'm like, I feel it and I don't feel it. But I'm still doing my workouts. I'm still eating to my meal plan. Is it 100%? No, because I might not be eating the, like it says, a fourth of a rice. And I'm like, a fourth of a rice? I don't need the rice. I'll just eat everything else except the rice. And I know I need the carbs, but I just pick it up in the vegetables somewhere. So I'm just, right now, I'm kind of teeter-tottering back and forth, but I'm not making bad choices. I might just not be eating my macros 100%, but I'm staying away from the sweets. And that is usually my biggest Achilles heel, is that just anything chocolate, brownies, chocolate chip cookies, frosting, I don't care. Chocolate, anything chocolate. So as I've been on this program, it's really given me a lot of time to think about just me and being more confident in myself. So it's been a blessing. It's been a positive, and I don't get down on myself anymore like I did at the beginning. So I'm proud of me, and I know I can make better changes. But right now, I'm chilling for a little bit more of summer, and then once work starts back up, I'll be, more organized and focused. So that's
Again,
me in a
it's a lifestyle, Rita. It's a
Yeah.
lifestyle that you're living. And I mean, honestly, you're not giving yourself enough credit. You were in Italy and you didn't binge eat. You've told the story about Italy. You made smart choices. I do have a quick question for you though. How long have you skipped carbs in your meal plan here and there? And this is a serious question.
It's just with my new meal plan,
Okay.
because it's like a fourth of quinoa, a fourth of rice, and I'm like, that's just not enough for me to make a pot of rice. And I mean, it goes bad after a while. If it was like a half a cup, I'm good. I'm not skipping it. It's just, this is my first solid week, and it's the rice and the quinoa that I've been off on. But it's a fourth cup.
So one, make it a half a cup and add it to a meal around your workout. Two, just for you guys all to know, and this is why I asked the question. So if you're wondering why I asked the question, carbs are important. They're energy. So if you're skipping carbs, and this is why I asked it, because she said she craves sweets. All right. And I'm like, oh, has this been going on for a while? Because if you are not eating what we're putting in your nutrition plan, carbs are good for you. If we give you a refeed meal and we tell you to eat a burger and fries, eat the fucking burger and fries, buns and all. What we want you to avoid is the fats, like the unhealthy fats, the refined foods. Those are the things that slow you down. But I say that, and I'm not picking on you, Rita. You just alerted me oh, I wonder if we're picking up on something. So if you are pushing your carbs aside for some reason or another, you could crave sweets. Why? Your body needs the glycemic energy. It doesn't have enough, so it's looking for a very quick source of it. So your brain tells you it wants sugar. That's not always the case. But if you're going, I'm just going to tell her that I'm 100%, but I'm really not eating the carbs because carbs are bad for me. And I have zero idea if any of you are doing this, but I also know the female brain that any of you are doing this. And then you're craving sweets. Ding, 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 ding. That's why.
I love my cream of rice. I eat that regularly every morning. So I feel like that's a lot of carbs right there, but
Gotta eat them all.
Yeah.
All of them. But in your
of
case,
course.
if you don't, you're far enough along in the program. And this, guys, is another reason why we want you to learn to track your nutrition plan, your meal plans, because you need to get in the habit of seeing. So if Rita's tracking her nutrition and she zings out the rice and the quinoa, she's going to see that her macro balance just went down, her calorie count just went down. If she adds in something, if she adds in the extra vegetables, she's going to see that she really didn't make up the carbohydrates that she needed. Plus, there's a big difference between green vegetables. Those carbohydrates that they add into your nutrition plan, we don't count them. We don't count them. There's certain vegetables we count, mushrooms, carrots, stuff like that. But any green vegetable, you see that's fiber. We don't really count that. That's not true energy. I don't count that in your macros. The complex carbs, the simple carbs like berries, rice, potatoes, oats, those are the things that we're counting. So just food for thought, guys, carbs aren't bad. This is why we cycle you. Okay. We cycle you to create this ebb and flow in your system until you get to the phase where you're in growth or maintenance, and then we just work off of a regular balanced plan of macros, but that's why we cycle you in the fat loss phase. So one, learn here, don't cut out your carbohydrates. So going back to what Rita said, so if you're tracking and you get, this is the other reason why we want you to get this part of the journey, because if you're tracking your meal plan, and even if you just want to eat your meal plan, you're not going to eat anything other than your meal plan, learning to put it in for the week and then add and subtract as you go. This is why we taught you this 2-3 weeks ago. I did a whole Zoom on it. I showed you on my phone how to do it. You don't have to enter it in every day, just get it all in for the week and then add and flow. So if I was Rita and I decided that I didn't want to eat 2 half cups of rice or 2 quarter cups, I could take one of those quarter cups and add it to another meal and see. Now, if you're doing that, think smartly. All right, your carbs, you want to load your carbs in the beginning of the day if you can, or around your workout. So if I was Rita and I was moving a quarter cup of rice to another meal, I would probably move it post-workout, because I could use the carbohydrates after that. And I know that it's not that it's bad anywhere else, but I probably would, because it would make me feel the best. Or I'd add them into something that I did before my workout, but it would be my main meal right after my workout. Or I might look at my quarter cup of rice and go, or quinoa, and go, oh, that's about the same amount of carbohydrates as a rice cake. Well, let me just eat a rice cake with my post-workout shake. See, like, you got to start. This is why we want you to do this. You've got to start to learn to do these things, because this is what's going to allow you to carry on. Do you have to track all the time? No, like, you don't, but you're going to learn these things. And this is why you, like, it's that habit stacking, guys. It's building that foundation so you get to the top of the triangle and you're designing your own house. So those are the reasons why. We don't do this because we want to punish you. We don't do this because we want to create more work in your life. Like, and we design it to take you through phases. Like, you know, Brooke, you shouldn't be worrying about it right now. We need you to build a foundation of just getting in certain habits. Once you get to a part of the journey where we know that you're solid in your nutrition and your meal plans, and then we're going to layer that piece in. So it's just really trusting that we know what the fuck we're doing. All right. I think I've heard from everybody but Sandy. What's happening, Sandy?
Hi.
Hi.
So, when you were talking about lifestyle, one of the things that has always bothered me, like through my whole life, is when someone says the word diet. Like, I've never responded well to a diet. However, my lifestyle in the past did do diets. Mm-hmm. And the problem with the diet was it was always this, quick fix. Like, what can I do to, and I mean, I've probably tried them all. And however, I knew that wasn't sustainable and it wasn't a lifestyle. And then coming into this group, and similar to Rita, fitness has been a part of my life for a long time. However, I went, I was roller coaster for a while. And I went off and I had gained 45 pounds, and I was working out every day and still doing my thing, but not eating consistent, half of the time not eating enough, and probably eating more calories than needed, just not eating the right things, and too many hours in between. So realizing, like, the whole lifestyle, now the thing I get all the time is people are like, are you still doing that diet? Are you still doing that thing? Hey, do you ever take a day off? Don't you want to just sometimes stay in bed? And they'll say things, and I'm like, yes, it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. I'll never do a diet again. And yes, I will always do it because it's not a diet. It's my life now. Mm-hmm. And listening to everybody, thank you guys, because there's a lot of inspiration here. I'm going through a really rough emotional time right now. And in the past, I would have done one or two things. I would have binged. Most likely, I would have stopped eating because I get a pit in my stomach and I can't get past it. But thank you to Jules, because have this lifestyle now, it's non-negotiable. Like, I still need to eat my stuff, and I still go to the gym, and the gym has been my savior. I might not be doing it at my exact time, but I'm still doing it. Found myself going at 4 yesterday, and that's a lot later than my normal. So the lifestyle is super important, because what happens is it doesn't become, it's not like, oh my gosh, I got to work out, or oh my gosh. And my body is very fatigued from the stress that's happening right now, which would have normally had me just not move. And I'll tell you, it's funny, because Jules had to tell me, she's got me doing 15,000 steps, and she had to tell me last week, girl, slow down. Your average is like 18,000. I want you to stick to 15. And so, like, there's days where I didn't have as many steps, but because I had 25 the day before, my average could have still been good. But in my head, I can't not do 15. Like, it's become a non-negotiable. And it's also been amazing, because emotionally it helps me so much. I mean, I was walking around a couple nights ago at 10 at night because I needed to make up some steps, and it's been everything. So the lifestyle, like you all have said in different pieces on, this is more about having your body look a certain way, right? It's about consistency. It's about a lifestyle, and that lifestyle brings up so much more. Mentally, it's huge. And the discoveries, I loved hearing all these discoveries, things that we discover are about ourselves along the way. And it's just awesome. So thank you all for sharing, and you're all an inspiration. And go, Brooke, girl, you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you're a true testament to, you know what? Nothing is bad enough to stop us. So.
I love it. Thanks for sharing. You got a whole tribe here, Sandy.
Thank you.
All right. I have one last person. Jen. I'm going to give the floor to you before I look for my freaking water bottle.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I left it downstairs.
I'm in prep. That's a huge win for me.
My life.
Fuck my life. No, not really, but what a fucking mental challenge for sure. It is like pushing me to unbelievable limits that I didn't even realize that I had. On top of, prep being an emotional roller coaster in and of itself. It's like a whole nother job, a whole nother level of discipline, consistency, and I'm fucking doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like high-fiving myself every fucking day that I get up. I am sore as fuck every fucking day, which means it's good, right? Like, I'm working my ass off. Posing is intense. If I don't feel like I'm breaking my back, then I'm not doing it right. So practicing every day. Getting up and doing fasted cardio. I was never a big fan of fasted cardio, because I like to eat. And I've always been like a morning eater. So like I've always eaten like first thing in the morning, like that's just was never a problem for me. And so I just figure if I want to make these changes, then I need to get uncomfortable. And so I've been getting up early in the morning and doing my fasted cardio. And I have a lot of emotional stuff, life stuff happening. Like it just seems on a weekly basis. And like Sandy, I would either one overeat or not eat and use food as my emotional crutch. And I haven't done that. Instead, I've been because this is a lifestyle. Like I've made this a lifestyle. I've created these habits for myself. So it is a non-negotiable. So like maybe that thought comes into my mind where I think, you know, like, oh, I just don't want to eat, but my food alarm goes off and it's like automatic pilot when you know, like you automatically drive to work and you're like, how the fuck did I get here? Like, I don't even remember getting here or driving here. Like the same thing is happening when I'm eating my food. I'm like, oh, I'm just eating my food, even though I wasn't hungry, you know? And then like I've been using the tools that I've been given for mindset, and like I've been talking to people and sharing what's going on, and I've been listening to some, you know, positive podcasts, and you know, trying to get like my mindset right, because those voices are getting loud in my head, and then what happens is it's telling me, you know, that I'm not good enough, or I'm not going to be ready for this show, or you know, all these negative things. And so I'm like, fuck that shit. Like, yes, you are, you can do this, you're a warrior, you're an athlete, you know. This is just trying to take you out. And so, because this is, you know, this is a huge component of this program, is not just nutrition and fitness, but mindset. And so I've been listening to this podcast right now, and you know, working on that positive mindset, so that way I'm not allowing these voices to overpower, you know, what I'm actually doing for myself, if that makes sense.
It does.
So that's my challenge and my learn and my win is
Mhm.
all of that, encompassing it, and just not knowing that I'm allowed to feel sad, and I'm allowed to, you know, and I can allow myself, but I don't need to let it completely consume me and take me into that dark, deep path.
Yeah, I love it. New
So,
levels, new devils.
oh my God, if I could get through this,
New
I
levels, new
feel like
devils,
I can
guys.
conquer the world.
Don't ever think it's over. Like what you're listening to with Jen is probably where Jen was in the beginning of her journey. Brooke, you can identify with this. You're in the beginning. Anybody in the middle of your journey, like when you have like new levels, new devils, like many of you can relate to what she's saying because you have your own bit of hard. You know, she went through, she got to the lifestyle, and now she's, it's like ripping the band-aid off and starting all over. Like she said, it's a whole new, like, she could continue to cruise and she's got a great shape and figure and she looks good and she feels good, but she's taking shit to a whole new level. And in order to get to that level, she has a brand new devil she's got to face. And that is like when you hear her talk about certain things, like it's not for everybody in here, but she has to take it to that level to get her body there. Like those of us that have lived it, like there's just things that we have to push further in. And so that, you know, and it's different for everybody. So like what you hear her talking about, I know a lot of you can identify with it. But she's just going through it at a different level, and know that it's always going to be a journey. So I think sometimes in life, and I'm going to end it here because I'm guilty of this as too, it doesn't matter if it's finances, relationships, health, whatever it is, we see this goal, like, and we think when we get there, everything's going to be perfect. Butterflies are going to fly out of our ass. It's not. No butterflies are flying out of your ass.
Oh,
You know, you're gonna hit, it's just like I said to Jen, new devils, new levels, new devils. You're gonna hit that goal, and there's gonna be a new devil. It might not be horrible, but there's gonna be another one that's gonna show. But the beautiful thing about that is you've got the tools in your toolbox. So as you're climbing that level and new devils are showing up, you have built this foundation that you can now have the tools, like, you know, even Stacy talked about, to handle that devil, like Jen talked about. You can handle it. If Jen went into prep 3 years ago, she'd have crumbled on her face. Like she would have been like, fuck you in the world. Like there, I guarantee you, she could not have done it. She could not have done it. Not only would she not have thought about it, she would not have been able to do it. She didn't have the tools. But now she stacked up the tools, learning to live the lifestyle, and is able to handle. And that doesn't even mean that she could have handled it. Like even with all the tools, it's not for everybody. She had to decide what her new level was. Make sense, guys?
yep.
So
And that's why we write goals. That's why we have those goals, right? because there's always something that we're going to strive for, and they might change. It's like I got to add a couple things on my my vision board, because I'm like, I've literally hit almost all of my things that I put on my vision board this year. So like I'm going to go add some more to it.
Mm-hmm. Those things work, by the way.
Yeah, Jen, this is so I just want to interject on one. So I was actually looking at my vision. Jen, you and I talked about this last week, I think it was. And
Yep.
I thought, well, I've hit 3 of the things. I've actually hit more than I even realized. And so then I started journaling, because it's a way to get my thoughts out that want to keep me up at night. So I write these things down, and I was like, you know what, let me do a page on all the good things that have happened this year. 13 things. And 5 I have already manifested and have come to life. 5 vision boards. And so I was talking to my sister, who has a 12-year-old going on 18, and he's struggling with some things. And I said, what if you sat down and did a vision board with him on what it is that he wants to accomplish, so he can start tackling those things and visualize what is it that he needs to do to get to that vision. And she said, oh my God, we can totally teach him a life tool right now at 12 years old. He'll be 13 soon. So what I've learned, now I'm sharing and shaping and helping other people. So the vision board, be careful what you put on it, because it's going to come true.
Very true. Very true. Very true. I love it. Good stuff, guys. All right. So the moral of the story here, as we're going through, and I wanted to make sure we brought this out. Remember, like, build that foundation, guys. We put these tools in place to help you get to the next step. So learn to track the food, learn to do the check-ins, and you're good at it. We're always going to push you guys to level up. Take the action on the things that we give you. Lean into your tribe, but really, like, the more action you take, the more that you lean into these tools. It's not going to be perfect, but you've heard from many of these people in here, like, it works. And I think a lot of you, even just zooming out for yourself on this call, may have realized, oh shit, like, it does. There's more to it than we think about it. Like, Lieutenant is buying shirts with bikes on it, and she now knows why. Like, it's like, there's a lot of self, so I commend you all, guys, and I appreciate you all showing up and sharing on this call. And I'll see you when I'm back in the States next week. Peace.
Bye. Safe travels. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.
Hasta la vista.
Baby.
Jen, will you put some of those podcasts in the group?
They all go in.
Yes.
They're under.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, bye.